full of air, and that lets you save. Look here.
True Form Life.
Green look on it.
Welcome to another edition of Exploring Mind and Body. As always, I'm your host, True Form's Taddia, fitness expert. Over the past few weeks, we've had 3 individual bikini competitors interviewed on the show. Well, I'm excited to announce today we have all of 3 of them together right now. So we're going to give you a full interview of all their trials and tribulations of True Form's first bikini show. All that and so much more coming up on...
This is Exploring Mind and Body with True Form's Taddia, fitness expert on 96.5 CKFM.
All right, welcome to another edition of Exploring Mind and Body. On today's show, we're welcoming 3 of True Form's first fitness competitors. So they're all in the studio with me right now, and they're going to introduce ourselves. So you want to start, ladies?
I'm Dorothy Keith. I'm a grade 1 French immersion teacher here in Olds, and I've been with True Form for about 16 months now.
It's a long time. Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa Hammer. I'm a real estate agent, mortgage broker, and a mother of 3. I've just started with True Form. I've been here for around 6 weeks.
All right. Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I work at a bank, and I've been with True Form for about 9 months.
All right. So, ladies, you guys just completed your first fitness competition. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we're going to talk about some of your challenges, some of the path that got you there. Let's start out real quick with why you decided to do the competition.
Well, for me, it was just a new challenge. In the beginning, when the topic came up, I was like, no way, like, that's not for me. But after I thought about it, it was actually a challenge that fit my life at the time, and I just kind of went with it.
Melissa, how about you?
For me, it was after seeing one of my friends' transformation on Facebook. She had done one a year ago, and after that, I always wanted to do it, and Steph kind of pressured me into it. So
Peer pressure.
it was over some drinks, too. So.
Nice. Stephanie, go ahead.
I've been wanting to do one for a really long time as well. I approached you back in January about it. I was further away with my goals then, and recently I kind of decided that it would work for me to do one, so we plan to do it.
All right. So how do you guys feel after, we'll get to the journey here, but how do you guys feel after completing this goal you've set for yourselves?
It still, sometimes it feels like... wow, like we've made it, right? Mm-hmm. It kind of feels surreal that it's over right now.
How about you guys?
Yeah, I agree with Dorothy. Like, it just feels unreal. Like, it didn't even happen, kind of like it was a dream.
Yeah, it feels like a dream.
Still in shock.
Yeah, you guys well, it's only been a couple days out, so you guys will have a few days to kind of reflect a little bit and understand what you went through. So once leading up to the competition, you guys had a whole bunch of loopholes to jump through with all kinds of preparation as opposed to training, and we'll get to training in a little bit, but what are the things that you guys had to do to prepare for the competition besides just working out or nutrition wise?
We had to find someone to make our suits, so we looked online and found somebody to do that. We had to go and find shoes. We all had to get our hair done. We all had to get spray tanned the day before and then touched up the day of. We all went and got some waxing done and makeup and stuff like that. Fake eyelashes, the whole works. Nails, yeah. Pedicures.
Yeah.
Which was the hardest?
Probably the waxing and the tanning. Just, yeah. Hardest experience, probably.
Because it was a full body wax.
Okay, so we talked about briefly about setting a goal and accomplishing your goal. A lot of people, I think this is important for our viewers to know what you guys went through, because if you haven't actually gone through it, people don't understand how intense it was. So when a lot of people think about setting a goal or accomplishing one, they kind of waver and they don't set the goal. They don't make it permanent. They don't make it a must as opposed to a should. So what was it that made you guys set your goal and go through with it? I think that's most important, because it was difficult and there were so many ups and downs throughout the 6 weeks, and it was only 6 weeks, but it was a long, tough 6 weeks. So what made you guys stick with it and continue pushing forward through the difficult times?
Well, I guess for me it was just knowing that I had to get on stage in a bikini. So that really pushed me through, making that commitment. Registering was a big day, because then I knew there was no turning back. You can't turn back once you're registered. You just have to go with it and do your best.
I agree with Dorothy too. Definitely the accountability. It also helps when you have a positive trainer and two awesome girls to do this with. I couldn't imagine doing it on your own. You'd have to be even stronger.
Yeah. I agree with Melissa. I think once I registered, I knew I was definitely going to do it, but just knowing that I had the support around me with you as my trainer, Drew, and the girls, just showing up to every class and everybody being so positive and pushing each other, that was what definitely pushed me through.
Yeah, that support group was very important, and you guys did a great job of supporting each other and helping each other out through the process. So let's talk about nutrition. You guys were working your way down through carbs and increasing water, and that was extreme on its own. And then you have the big mental aspect that comes in with staying on track and with different foods in your body. Talk about how that was challenging throughout the last week.
The water was definitely hard for me. I normally do try to drink like 3 liters of water a day, but we were upping our water to, anywhere from 8 to 10 liters a day, which seems almost impossible in a full day, especially when you're working a full-time job, but somehow we did it. And then when we decreased the water, that was a little bit tough too, because you just felt so thirsty from drinking so much. So that was a bit of a mind game. And then on competition day, it was hardly any water, which was really hard, but we pushed through.
How about you other guys with the mental aspect of the water depletion increase and then the depletion?
Yeah, for me, it was hard to drink all that water. It just felt like you're drinking water and going to the bathroom all day. Like I felt like that was the only thing I did. So that was harder.
Okay, but what about food? So food changed quite a bit here the last week also. That was something that's challenging on its own because you didn't get the nutrients, which is all important for your mind as well as your body. So some things more of a struggle than others, or simple tasks, or how were you guys affected throughout that last week?
Well, I consider myself a carbaholic, so having no carbs the last week was challenging, and sometimes just looking at a piece of chicken was hard enough, let alone to get it down. But it's all mental. I just got through it. In the beginning, I'm like, oh, it's just a week. Like, I can do a week of no carbs. But by Wednesday, it felt like it was a struggle. But you just get it through it day by day.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about the intensity of workouts also and I'm going to write a blog about it soon about how difficult things were for you guys, how difficult I made them for you, because I think that a lot of people feel that Bikini in particular is just some Barbies that dance around on stage. And the extreme workouts that I put you guys through were extreme. And it was to the point of exhaustion at every rep and every set. And that was something that people should know about. So do you guys want to talk about how those workouts affected your bodies or minds throughout this process?
I think the hardest thing for me the last week was when we weren't on carbs. It just kind of showed you what and how important those are for your body. Like, it's amazing how tired and how weak you feel when you're not on carbs. So it was eye-opening in that aspect.
I found without carbs, for sure, my workouts were a little bit different. I had to push extra hard. There was some times I felt like I was going to throw up, but I just pushed through it. And I found that my mind too, I was a little bit forgetful the last week, and I just couldn't keep my concentration on lots of things. So I think that definitely affected me, having no carbs.
Yeah, that was a good experience. Like, we understand that carbs are important and nutrients are important for us, but we don't understand how much they affect our bodies and our minds, as you said, Stephanie. But they're so important, like food and nutrients are so important for our overall well-being. And by taking them away, we understand at a higher level how important they are to us. So, I mean, it's not all that healthy way to go about things. We did a good job of that, of staying healthy while going through this process. But I mean, just going through the process and understanding what it's like not to have those nutrients and how your bodies react without them. All right, so you guys were all prepared, and you guys got together in the hotel room, and you guys were getting ready for your competition. How was the night before competition?
To be honest, we were really well prepared. We had practiced, our walking and our posing for weeks before. So we were all pretty positive and pretty relaxed in the room. There was a little bit of nerves, but, we were just encouraging each other just to have fun and have, a great day the next day and just to stay positive.
For me, I was pretty relaxed, and I was counting down the minutes so I could eat peanut butter again.
You guys weren't so nervous the night before. You guys all slept.
Well, a bit too excited to sleep. But
More excited than nervous.
Yeah.
So it's the morning of. You guys are up bright and early, and you have your makeup artist come in. You guys have touch-ups. Talk about the day of leading up to the competition.
Well, we woke up really, really early. I think we were up at like 5 in the morning to all get our hair and our makeup done, which it wasn't that big of a deal. Makes for a long day, though. Basically, after we were ready, we went and we were even like an hour and a half early, I think, for when we showed up at the competition. So I think the waiting around was the most strenuous thing. You just want to get out there and get on the stage. So
Right.
Also, for our tans, when we woke up in the morning, they were kind of smudged. And so we were all a little bit nervous about that because we knew we had to get them touched up anyways. But like Dorothy woke up with a big handprint on her leg. I had one on my arm. So that kind of made us a bit nervous, but we knew it would get fixed.
Okay, so now we're walking up to the stage, and you guys have all your hard work is paying off right here, and it's about to happen. So what are you guys thinking about when you're waiting to be called next?
When I went up to stage, the girl in front of me actually slightly tripped. So I was thinking in my head, please God, don't let me trip. Don't let me fall. Oh my gosh. I was really nervous. My legs were shaking. My lip was quivering. I thought there's no way I'm going to get any pictures taken because my face is going to be all messed up. But it was a really cool experience. It was awesome.
Melissa and I were actually lucky because we were together in line. She was in front of me. So just having that support there was great. And then, of course, she walked on stage first, which, I cheered her on. And then it just felt like we were practicing, kind of. I just kind of went into my routine after her, and it just kind of came out natural.
All right, so one of the other experiences you guys were talking about was being backstage as opposed to being on stage. What was the atmosphere like in the background when preparation was happening?
Backstage actually surprised me. You hear so many bad things about girls and all kinds of stuff that it was actually really surprising. Like, people were so positive and helpful, and they actually just wanted to meet you and talk to you and everything. It was so cool seeing all the other levels, like the figure competitors and like even the men's bodybuilding. Like, it's a pretty neat lifestyle, I think.
You kind of feel, in a way, kind of pampered. There's all these, or like special treatment. There's all these volunteers running around, sheening you up or gluing on your bathing suit bottoms. And then, everyone's just kind of camped out. You kind of claim a little spot, and it was very social. Like, everyone was talking, and I was drooling over the people who were allowed to eat peanut butter and candy bars. But it was actually quite positive.
That's a good point, because I want to talk about nutrition and lifestyle afterwards. And one of the things that we talked about stress, and I stress healthy lifestyle, no matter what we're doing, whether it's this competition or living a regular lifestyle. And I wanted to, Stephanie and I agreed on this before we started, that if you're going to go through it, it's going to be a healthier way of doing it as opposed to the normal way. And the girls weren't allowed their cheat meals. They weren't allowed. So it's important for people to understand that they were on chicken and asparagus pretty much for the last week, and I really think it's an unhealthy shock to the system to be able to have a cheat meal like pizza or chocolate bars right before stage, and that's common in the fitness field. And this is just my perspective. Also, there's a lot of great trainers out there that do their own thing, but for health reasons, I thought it was a shock to a stomach and your internal organs to be able to have some kind of chocolate bar or food. So unhealthy food, so that wasn't allowed with these girls. So they're in the background watching other people eat Skittles and chocolate bars and peanut butter and drooling over their I think that's important to stress. And the other part is they're not back to a regular lifestyle yet, so it's not just a 6-week period. We're going to go to at least 8 weeks. So they slowly went off carbs, and now they'll slowly go back on carbs. So you guys want to talk about that challenge, because